All right, now we're going to look at, we're going to take a break from zeros just for a split second and talk about how we solve a polynomial equation. It says here, the water level of a bucket sitting on a patio can be modeled by this equation. All right, F is the height, so this is height, and X is the days. It says on what day or days will the water height reach 10 millimeters? So height, it says height of 10, and f of x is the height. So one easy way you can solve this is you plug in 10 for f of x. So we could say that 10 equals x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2x plus 7. Now you could go to the calculator, and many of you have learned to insolve this. In the past, you said, oh, anytime you have an equation, I just type that in, and I type in comma x, close my parentheses, and if we do so, we could get an answer. I've actually done this already in the calculator. Our answer here would be this value. So it looks like negative 6.9 would be our x, which would mean that it is on that height on, if this is our x value, then it would be on negative 0.697 days. That doesn't make any sense. Well, that's because there's more than one answer, because we've learned that this has 3 possible zeros. Okay, so since there's 3 possible zeros, here's what we're going to do. We're going to graph these and look at which one is relevant. There's 3 possible answers. The insolve only gives you 1. So here's what I'm going to do now. I want to go over to the graph. Now I have to graph this as f1, and I put in this as f2. So here's what I did. I went to graph. Now I'm going to say f1 is x cubed plus 4x squared minus 2x plus 7. And I did f2 as 10. Now what you could do is you want to just subtract the 10 over and only have one graph. But I've done 2. So now let's look at my picture over here, and you'll see it comes out like this. The f2, that's the height that we want. Now I could look at this and say that's not a reasonable answer, that's not a reasonable answer, because my days would be negative. I only need to find that one reasonable answer. So I'm going to go to Menu, Analyze, and do Intersection. I'm looking for the intersection of those 2 points. And that would be, excuse me, hit the wrong thing. That would be my answer there. Let me pull this up. And so now as we look at it, here's our picture. This is the only, it happens on day 1. That's our solution because of this right here. So that's where we get that solution from. These 2 are not reasonable. These 2 right here. And one more time, why are these not reasonable? Is because they're negative days. So all I did is use my calculator to help me out. Again, if you wanted to, you could have subtracted the 10 and typed it in, and then you would still got the same graph. It just would have been where it crosses the 0, because you would have had this equal to 0. So here's one for you to try. I'll let you type this in, put a 25 on this side, and on Desmos, just see where they cross.